Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Me and Mitch are back and we're better. We've got audio, video this time, all the technological advancements brought right to your screen. This is episode 4 of Gettin Lively with Mitch and Ethan.
How's it going today, Ethan, mate? What's going on? Tell the peoples what you've been up to.
It's been a stinker of a hot day in the city, my friend. So it's nice to be talking to someone cool as you because I'm cooling down myself.
You've moved into a new place, haven't you?
I have, man, and I'm not going to share my address on the internet because you never know who's out there watching and listening. But I'm happy with it, man. I got a pool in my back garden. What else do you need in the Australian summer?
Yeah, I know. Got to be careful. You might get papped.
I'm already getting papped. That's why I'm not sharing the address.
Yeah, there's video calls enough, eh?
Anyway, it is. So yeah, guys, it's awesome to be back. We took a little bit of a hiatus where we set up our technology because that was a bit of a pain in the ass to do, but we're here now. Hope you can hear us. It would kind of suck if we got to the end of this podcast and Mitch hadn't pressed record, as has happened in the past. But that's fine. Just a little tidbit for you.
Give me a break.
But yeah, man, we got lots to discuss today. I want to be talking about Bluesfest, the new Groove in the Move Festival, fresh produce that just came out recently. Also want to have a chat to you about Big Pineapple. And also to finish off, quite a large band dropped an interesting tidbit that could mean quite a lot for the future of Australian music this year. So hang around and I'll reveal all at the very end. Marketing. But to start with, Bluesfest. So Bluesfest looks like it's going full steam ahead. It is set to be the first major music festival back in Australia since COVID, which 1 is a great achievement. 2, fantastic news for the industry. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to go, but it looks sick. It's cracking off from the 1st of April to the 5th of April. I want to talk a little bit about the lineup. I'm not going to go through the whole lineup because we'll be here till next Tuesday. But they've got Jimmy Barnes headlining, Tash Sultana, Ocean Alley, Ziggy Alberts, John Butler, Xavier Rudd, Hiatus Coyote, Briggs, just to name a few. Vibes is all I can say about that lineup. They know their target audience. They know who they're going for. It looks like a lot of fun. What do you think to the lineup, Mitch?
Well, first thing to say is I'm pretty sure it's running at 50% capacity. Is that correct?
It is running at 50% capacity. That's something I do want to touch on. So 50% capacity. And as a result of that, some of the single day tickets are looking quite pricey, sitting at over $200 for a 1-day festival. And if you want to go for 5 days, it's going to run you about $600. You could choose to look at that as a bad thing. But personally, because the people that go to Bluesfest tend to go to Bluesfest all the time, like it's like a yearly tradition type thing. So if you're a true blue head, I don't know what they call themselves, but if you're really into the Bluesfest festival, you know, you're getting an experience that's pretty unique. You get to go to Bluesfest and not have to like fight 5,000 people to get a good spot. Drink lines are probably going to be pretty short, as are toilet lines, you know. Anything facilities wise, you're probably gonna be in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. As we've seen with some other like smaller scaled events, things tend to run smoothly, I think. We've got a story coming out about Day Trip and Factory Festival that you can read. That'll touch on all those sort of subjects. But soon. Yeah, back to your original question, vibe. I think it's really good. Got some. It's a decent stacked Aussie lineup, like we're seeing a lot of. It's probably harder.
And shout outs to Bluesfest, man, because they do rely on getting some pretty interesting international headliners. I think they had Nas a few years ago. Pretty sure they've had Lauryn Hill in the past, I think.
Yeah, they do get those oddballs like that, and they fit the bill. It's kind of
Kendrick Lamar a couple years ago. Do you remember that? When he just released a Pimp a Butterfly. They got Kendrick Lamar, which is incredible.
Pretty huge. I think it's really fun sort of lineup. As far as an Australian acts can go, you look at it and it's like, it is that blues vibe, but, you know, there's not your classic blues bands there, I guess. Like, they can't.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's a lot more of like I know it's really easy to say, but it's a very specific vibe that I'm kind of struggling to put an exact name on. I guess
Yeah.
the best thing I could say is like buskers that live in Byron that also rent Airbnbs out.
Yeah, definitely.
Nah.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, if I'm having just another quick glance at the lineup, yeah, you're like John Butler, like, come on, man. Like, he he is all time. Like, Xavier Rudd, Tash Sultana.
Hiatus Coyote is a cool
Hiatus
addition,
Coyote is
man. They're an
awesome
awesome
too.
band.
They're very
They're
unique. Yeah.
so good, man.
All said bands plus
So
the
cool.
others, they are blues. So it fits very well. Obviously, they're hurting somewhat in that they can't get a big international act. But I think they've made do with it very well, and they've capitalized on Australia's best, at least solo blues musicians. And like you said, they're that busking vibe. Yeah, it's really cool, and I would love to go. Don't know if I am going to, but anyone who's been to Bluesfest before, I'm pretty sure tickets were somewhere around that price previously. It was one of the more XE festivals, I think, due to the overall experience you would get pre-COVID. Like, I've heard really good things about it as far as like amenities and facilities go. It's definitely
I've
one
heard
of
it's
the
a
better
high
ones.
quality one.
High quality is, yeah, definitely high quality. So yeah, you might be
It
paying a
seems to
little bit
be
more extra.
it seems to me a bit more of a wouldn't necessarily say family festival, but it's not targeting the like 18 to 22 kind of demographic that are
Yeah,
just there to get off the
uh,
knocker and
I think
go kind of crazy.
it is a family
It was always
festival.
a festival that was there for the music.
Like, you're
Yeah.
definitely going to have
Like yeah, all
you'll have rappers there
like
that are saying some obscenities, but like overall, it is a very family friendly festival. It's like uh like a bush stuff sort of things, but more, even bigger and more money put into it, and even more family friendly. Like, when I say bush stuff,
yeah.
I don't mean the ones where you see people just fully gabbed out. I'm talking about more the
I
family
think you
friendly
mean
sort of
it's somewhere
folk
you've got to
festivals.
travel to. That's not strictly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's like, Woodford
Cool.
Folk Festival, etc. It's like that, but grand scale.
That's a great comparison. And everyone that goes to Woodford always comes back and says, "Oh my god, you have to go to
Amazing.
Woodford this
Yeah,
year,"
yeah.
because
I've
they
heard
all
many
love
good
it.
things about
So
Woodford. Yeah.
they're probably doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And also, it's great to see a major player back in the game. It's
Mr.
a
Barnes.
really, really good sign for festivals like Falls, Listen Out, Splendor being the big one, obviously. So if they can go forward with this and there's no real issues, hopefully the government's restrictions stay pretty all right up until then, but we'll have to see closer to the date. I think dancing for weddings or something is coming back in New South Wales at some point.
Yeah.
But as I say, man, stuff changes every day. It's kind of hard to keep across it all. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed. Bluesfest.
But there's some major
Good luck to
sporting
you.
events, and that getting like getting their jersey, and like, it just, why can't we have the same for music festivals? That's my main question. Like, there's going to be Broncos games in
There's a
Brisbane.
lot of weird
There's
stuff
going
going
to
on,
be
man.
Melbourne.
You know what I never understood? You know how you have to check into a bar when you go and have a drink and whatnot? Why don't we do that
Townsville,
for
but
like Woolies or like why don't we do that for like clothes shops? Because I've been shopping today and I went into like 20 different shops and I didn't have to sign in once. But
how big were the
I'll go into
shops?
one bar, have a couple of schooners to help my dry throat, and yeah, have to sign in there. So
Yeah.
didn't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, nothing in this world ever does.
Not anymore anyway, but yeah, so
Not anymore.
on to the next topic, fresh produce. Fresh produce is happening all around Australia. It's replacing Groove in the Moo. So it's happening in Townsville, Bunbury, Maitland, Toowoomba. Oh God, I can't even say this one probably. Let me find the name of it because hang on one second. I'm not going to say it wrong. Glenorchy.
Is it the one in Tassie?
Yeah. Glenorchy, Canberra,
if
Bendigo.
You're from Glenorchy, just send him some hate mail.
No, they can't because I didn't pronounce it. I didn't mispronounce it. So yeah, that's happening all of those places. We've got so the lineup that is at every place is G Flip, Cosmos Midnight, and Spacey Jane. Lime Cordiale, Mall. So that's on the Friday. Sorry, all across Australia. On the Saturday, you've got Lime Cordiale, Mall Rat, Hooligan Hefts. Yeah. So that's it. So you're getting 6.
It's a pretty good lineup, honestly.
It's a good lineup. You're getting 6 super solid acts that are Australian favorites right now.
It does seem to me like a bit of a younger festival. Not saying I'm not hip and with the kids or whatever, but most of those artists, they're quite beloved by like, you know, the new generation and Triple J listeners.
Yeah, totally. So, like specifically, I would say G Flip, Mall Rat, Hooligan Hefts. That's 3 artists that are super like they're loved right now by all the young people, including ourselves. So
I was gonna say, you calling me old, bro? Because I feel like an old man, but I'm not ready to come to terms with it.
Lime Cordiale have been in the game for 10 years plus, so people love them now, but
just became like relevant only just last couple years, right?
End of 2018.
When did they stop popping?
They started popping 10 years ago, man. But that's life. Anyway, so that's mid-August through till October is when all that is happening,
which is quite a long run for a festival.
It's a long run.
I know they're doing the whole thing of like 2 days in every city, so it is going to take a long time. But so it's a nice concept. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So tickets are $135 per day, or $235 for both days. And every location does have its own selection of unearthed or local acts. Townsville, for example, gets Misha, which is like really cool. Another place gets JK47, etc., etc. So have a look at your local, like have a look at your respective towns lineup listing, and you'll get a better idea of who's playing. Definitely worth a look. But one thing I want to say, Ethan, and you're gonna probably balance me out here, I think the tickets are too steep. $135 per day. So this is the thing that's replacing Groove in the Moo, right? Groove in the Moo was no more than 115. I think it climbed to like maybe 120 last year at a max price. We're now
for 2 days as well with international artists.
We're now paying double that plus more for a hell of a lot less artists. Like not just less, I'm talking a fraction of the amount of artists. This isn't me
they're
complaining and saying what the fuck, but like in my head, that's too XY. I know COVID shit's going on, but one thing I do think is Groove in the Moo, and in Townsville at least I know, have maxed out their sales every year and set new records every year. So it's not like they are without a dollar. I would presume they are fucking rolling in it, but I don't know this for sure.
You have to remember, they haven't had a festival last year, which would have hurt their pockets massively. And look, it's the same thing with Bluesfest a little bit. Like, it is a bit expensive, but also, man, the live music industry needs help at the moment. I don't think they're setting a price that is going to be necessarily greedy. I don't think they're looking to, have 1 year where they just bank a bunch of money because they're heard and But like, you do have to remember, man, like they're probably operating at reduced capacity, much like Bluesfest is. These artists needed a certain level of deposit, I'm assuming, to ensure they stay on the bill and make sure, it's still worthwhile for them. While anything could happen, there could be restrictions coming, and they could have had a huge chunk of time booked up. That was hard to say. A huge chunk of time booked up, and then they had to lose their money, whatever. Don't know the specifics of it, but the 2 days, it is a bit pricey. But
I
another thing I wanted to touch on, is these are the places in Australia that don't get anything. So yeah, to be honest, man, if you're in Townsville, this is probably the thing you're going to be saving up for. If you're in Glencory, this is a place you'll probably be saving up for. If you're in Bunbury, this is the thing you're going to be saving up for. And I did want to ask you, Mitch, being a man of the country, what was it like last year when Groovin didn't eventuate? Because as I say, it's the thing in Townsville and around all of regional Australia that brings a lot of money into the local economy. It's the one thing you really don't have to travel to another city for. What was it like, man? Because you've been going to Groovins for goddamn like
since 2014.
You tell me. When did you start going to Groovin?
Since 2014.
You haven't missed one.
Haven't missed one until they didn't put one on the table for us. So yeah, it hit fairly hard, but like, you know, nowhere else in the country was getting festivals. So we're all in the same boat sort of situation, which I don't know. If something bad happens, I'm someone who, I'm in the same boat as a bunch of other people, I don't feel as bad about it just because that's life. Look, it sucked, but at least we're getting this, and you won't find me complaining about it because you'll see. I'll be there. Like I will buy
no matter what the ticket prices are.
You'll see me there. So
it'll be your firstborn child.
This is just me looking at it as like a bit of in a negative scope. Bottom line, I still think it's overpriced.
You're being a punter.
Everything you've said is you're bang on the money. There's no doubt about it. But I just don't see why they couldn't charge $50 less.
Yeah, who's that extra $50 going to? It's got to be Hooligan Hefts, man. He's got a Kogan money counter and he needs to.
I'll bring my newborn baby. Fucking send it.
Have you seen all the Vortex vids on TikTok?
No.
You know how they do the
I don't use TikTok.
Do the scarf? You not seen it?
What are you criming now?
I hoping you wasn't gonna notice.
I've seen that Rex owner.
when that song first came out, I was like, oh, this could be a wrong move for his career. And then I heard it go crazy on TikTok and literally saw, the whole like for whatever reason, people seem to love cruises these days. Have you got around cruises lately?
Man,
you getting into cruises?
I mean, like casually getting around cruises since I was knee high, since I was drinking, since I was like old enough to not be old enough to drink. Cruises are like Hooligan dessert treats.
Hooligan Hefts needs the cruiser sponsorship.
Yeah.
If he hasn't got a check from the dudes that do the beer snorkel thing, he needs to come for them because I've seen so many people do it to that song. So
actually, Hools, if you fucking listen, man, you could be making some dosh on that.
Yeah, let us be your business managers. What could go wrong? But yeah, I also wanted to ask you, why do you think that it's been labeled as a new festival and it's not just like Groovin' the Moo All Australian edition?
Fresh produce.
Could this be something going forward?
If COVID keeps happening, I assume they're going to do the exact same thing next year. I believe Fresh Produce are either a brother, sister, or parent company to Groovin' the Moo. So they're related. Is what they're related. So
could they be cousins, Mitch?
They could be cousins. Not second cousins is like check. Too much far, but they could be related. Look, I think it's something they could keep doing if COVID keeps persisting. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can get some bigger scale things going on. I
was curious about it because Groovin' the Moo's been running for however many years straight, and it's kind of weird to not continue that, especially when a lot of people have quite a lot of brand familiarity with Groovin' the Moo. So introducing something new just makes me wonder if they have a certain standard for Groovin' that they didn't want to jeopardize, or if it's going to be operating in a different way. we don't know too much in terms of what their restrictions and guidelines are going to be.
I do. So what they're actually doing is they're splitting it up into sections. So there's going to be different fruits. So there's like don't hate me if I'm wrong on this, orange, lemon, grape, banana. I don't know. I know there's lemon.
Fruit. Okay.
There's fruit. It's fruit, right? And fruit split into 4 sections. The name of that festival that was in South Australia what was it called again? Where they had the picket fence setups. Anyway, not too important. There's a good music festival went down recently.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yep. Pull it up, Jamie. So Ethan's got to look that up. But yeah, so pretty much what you get is these 4 sections.
Summer Sounds Festival.
Summer Sounds, that's what it's called.
I knew it was something to do with the sun.
And you get these fenced off areas. I assume it's going to operate exactly like that, where you got like a little button or something where you call a drinks card over. If you want to buy a ticket and you want to go with your friends, you need to buy the same fruit. So if you want to sit with your mates and they are in banana and you're in orange, unfortunately, you cannot see them. You're not going to be able to stand up, as far as I know, and walk over to them and hang out with them. It's all going to be seated. Maybe within your proximity, you'll be able to stand, but yeah, like seating.
I kind of like the idea of everyone being assigned a fruit. Yeah, I think it will bring out the tribalistic aspects in many people, and there could be a full-on like fruit war after the show.
Yeah, you could have like
you're a banana, die. Yeah. And that's what mosh pits turn into, just like a bunch of oranges and a bunch of apples just trying to make fruit juice.
Don't mix apples and oranges, eh? That's what they say.
Hey, there we
go. So yeah, that's pretty much that's the rundown of fresh produce. I'm keen for it. You'll see me there. Keen to. I don't know what fruit section I'm going to be in. Keen to figure that out. You've always been a
bit of a banana, haven't you, Mitch?
Oh man, more of a pickle.
I don't know what that means. I don't want to. My God.
Me neither, man. This is the first fucking vegetable fruit that came to mind.
All right, that's cool. Moving on from Mitch's pickle talk. Big Pineapple has just released their lineup. It looks pretty cool. Let's go through it. So the headline, they have got Alice in Wonderland, Peking Duck, and then supporting those two are the Amity Infliction, Bliss and Esso, June Rats, Example, G Flip, Hooligan Hefts, Kingswood, Slowly, Thelma Plum, Winston Surfshirt, Kwame. They've got a few other artists, but those were the big ones I picked. Man, looks fun. One thing I've learned about Big Pineapple is it's kind of festival where you go to it once and then you kind of just want to keep going to it because not like a family atmosphere, but it seems to be its own little thing, like a community. I think any festival where you've got to travel a little bit of a way out of a capital city, you're always going to find people that are a lot more interested in the music as opposed to just like, yeah, we're here to party. Because that's been the problem with a few city festivals I've gone to is I'll be like, oh man, who are you here for? And they're like, oh, it's just an event that was on near me. And it's like, cool.
Yeah.
Get out my way.
Yeah, you don't want to like chew the fat about what you're looking at. Like, that's cool. Exactly. Everyone's got their own reason to go to festivals and that. But
if it doesn't match mine, I don't want to talk to you. But yeah, it's cracking off on the 22nd of May in Nambour. It's up the coast. Well, it's where the big fucking pineapple is. If you needed to tell you that, like, yeah, there's a big pineapple there, guys. If you see it from drive past the huge pineapple, you've gone too far.
Yeah, I haven't been there. It's really always had fucking unreal lineups. I've always
really has, man. Yeah, even like a couple years back, they really kind of
be surprised how fucking good. But I haven't been to one. I saw that this one year's popped up, and like I have looked at previous years, but got onto it too late. It seems to sell out like that sometimes. So I looked. Tickets came out on Thursday or Friday, and I looked, and right now they're all closed or exhausted. Don't know what the go is there. Maybe it is sold out. Maybe it's a problem on their end. But I really want to go to it, and if I can help it, I will go to that festival.
I really wanted to go to it, and then I saw that Alice in Wonderland was headlining. I don't know if I've ever informed you, but I have a mortal hatred for Alice in Wonderland ever since I went to her festival that she ran called the Alice in Wonderland
Oh, the warehouse
Warehouse
one?
Project or
Yeah,
something.
righto.
And it was the worst festival of my entire life. And I do not say that lightly. It was terrible. And I'm going to tell you why, Mitch, even if you don't care, because I'm that passionate about it. So me and my friend Adash bought tickets to this festival. It was in a secret location. So off the bat, we had no idea if we were going to go stand in a field. Didn't know if we were going to a warehouse, which you would hope because it was called a warehouse festival tour. It wasn't a festival, Mitch. It was some field in absolute whoop whoop, 3 hours out of Brisbane. You had to get
3 hours. Shit.
2 hours maybe. I might be exaggerating.
Sorry, just to cut in.
I'm passionate.
Was this the Brisbane leg of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
so it's supposed to be a Brisbane festival.
Yeah.
So she chartered about like 5 buses for the whole of Brisbane. And because it's a 2-hour trip, man, once the bus is full, it goes. So many people were waiting for a bus. The festival, like the music, I think started like 2 p.m. and she had the bus schedule basically starting at like 9 a.m. and going until like the last bus was like 1:30. So obviously every single person in Brisbane wanted to get the last bus, because why would you want to leave for a music festival in the morning when the music doesn't start till afternoon? So I remember getting there with my friends, and it was pretty empty. We were like, sick, we'll get a bus. And as we started walking to the bus, I just see people come out of the side streets like a bunch of ants. It was crazy. Literally, like, man, probably like 3,000 people just turned up at the same time. And that was super hectic. Police
3,
ended up coming. Yeah, no, like I'm not exaggerating on that part. It was an insane amount of people, like way too many people. And luckily everyone kind of formed a line, but it could have got pretty hectic. Police ended up coming, and man, it was such a hot day. It was like 40 degrees. And instead of making sure people were all right, they were just going up and down the line, ticketing people for having open drink containers and all sorts of stuff, which made the vibe pretty fucking weird to begin with. So anyway, we got on the bus. It then turned into an hour and a half bus trip. And like at this point, man, I hadn't had a drink of water or anything for like 4 hours after standing in the sun. And I remember being to the guy in front of me. I was like, he had a water bottle, and I was like, man, can I please just steal a cheeky sip? And he's like, oh, if you have to, bro. And I took it and I did a big swig, and it was straight vodka. And I was like, oh, that's why you didn't want to share it with me. I literally wanted your water. That's why I asked you for your water. So we get there, and the whole thing is supposed to be themed in like a Halloween kind of scary, this and that. The only scary thing about it was the lack of preparation on Alice in Wonderland's end. That was the only scary thing. And we got there. There was no internet, and the ATM didn't get service. So it was cash only, and you couldn't use the ATM to get cash out. So many people couldn't buy drinks.
Sounds like crazy. A fucking schmozzle. Hopefully that does not happen at Big Pineapple Festival.
I know that was a really random detour, but I've been very passionately wanting to talk a bit more about that.
I think it's good to go on a few tangents. Like, I mean, I didn't go to any of those Allison things, but I saw that and I was like, that sounds like an administrative fucking nightmare. But
on the cherry on top, man, when she came out for her set, like a headline set, huge deal type thing, and she was drunk as hell, like more drunk than me, and I was not sober. And she came out and she's just like white girl wasted, being like, oh my God, I'm so drunk. Can you guys hear me? And I was like, unfortunately, yeah, I can. I want to leave. So I left midway through her set because apparently like that she only had 6 buses booked, and I don't need to get home for kick-ons.
Wow. All right. Well, fucking thank you for sharing that story. I don't know if you've told me that before or not, but that's fucking classic.
Doesn't matter. People need to hear.
Yeah, people need to hear. Anyway, onto the next topic. We have Pearl Jam coming to play. Where are they playing?
Oh, yeah. So, guys, Pearl Jam came out in a recent interview and basically said, someone said, oh, you got a chance to come into Australia? You interested? and they said we're very interested. Because of the way Australia's handled this pandemic, they're looking at getting out here as soon as possible. Pearl Jam are a pretty big band, like obviously dad rock and stadium type shit. So I can't tell you too much about their music, but I know Pearl Jam, and if Pearl Jam are thinking about coming to Australia, it's looking like, and I think we might have mentioned this in another podcast, but the second half of the year could be pretty damn good for Australians, purely because of the way we've handled this pandemic, and lots of artists are looking at coming and touring.
Yeah,
it's exciting. It's really good news.
Yeah, I think their last big show here in Australia was Big Day Out a number of years ago. That went very
2014?
Well. Yeah, maybe 2014. Oh, actually no, it may have halted by 2013 or something like that. Anyway, they love Australia. Australia loves them. Just quickly touching on that whole concept of these huge dad rock bands that are coming.
These huge dads coming down under.
Kiss have just announced that they're coming to Brisbane and Townsville, so their farewell show. So we are starting to see more of these rock giants keen to come to Australia, and like there's just so many fucking good reasons why they should, and that they probably will. It's really exciting for us as a country. It's exciting for our economics. It's exciting for the entertainment industry as a whole. We're getting these huge bands, like they want to come here because they don't want to. Why the fuck would they want to play anywhere else? I have no reason to believe why they would want to play anywhere else than in Australia. More specifically, Queensland.
Did you hear that Reading and Leeds in England's going ahead? I'm pretty sure.
I'd like to hear more about that, but if it does, that's fucking mega, and I'm ecstatic.
It is mega, UK. But they're literally in lockdown at the moment. It just blows my mind that they're completely fine booking these kind of things. I think Australia is so hesitant, it feels like, to kind of get back into it.
Well, I put my money on something like Splendor probably not going ahead. We don't know this for sure. They haven't ruled it out. I hope the fuck they don't, because it'd be so mad, but maybe we want to wait until these vaccines get rolled out a bit more until we say, let's actually do this. So, Splendor for us is like Readings for them, or Glastonbury, whatever. Yeah. I would like to see it happen, but should it?
Me too.
Probably not. That's my opinion. Probably not this year.
That must have hurt you to say, man.
It did, man. It fucking caned, because I would love nothing more than to see Damon Albarn at Splendor this year. I'll be off my fucking chops loving it. But it might not happen. I would love nothing more than that, but Gorillas.
Well, fingers crossed, man. As I say, things are definitely starting to pop back up, which is great, because now we have more stuff to talk about on the podcast, purely for selfish reasons. But yeah, it's happening. It's looking good. And I think that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you for bearing with us, giving us all your support. I've heard a lot of great comments from people, so it's very encouraging when we hear that. Yeah. I have been stopped on the street numerous times. And
that's impossible.
I'm used to dealing with it, bro. Like, I'm used to dealing with the fame, so it's not been a big transition for me.
He's bullshitting.
Thank you very much.
This is our first visual, so you got two heads for radio up here now. A couple rough lids.
Yeah. Thank you. Hopefully, no one just like opened this up and was like, "Oh fuck no," and turned it off. So,
I mean, look at bottom screen. That's rough as fuck. I wouldn't bother.
That would be crushing. But yeah, guys, it's exciting times as always. Keep your eyes scanned on the Whatslively app and on social media channels. If you want information as soon as it happens, the Whatslively app is genuinely one of the best places to go for Australian live music. I know that's us kind of shilling the product, but like, it's a pretty fucking solid app. So get around it if you don't.
Very solid.
You should.
Yep. So we've got that story coming out soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. What else was I going to say? You can hear us on
Peace,
Spotify
love, and
still.
Prosperity.
Peace, love, prosperity. You can still hear us on Spotify if you don't want to look at our lids, which I totally understand. We'll still be I'll still be editing the podcast for audio format, so you can get that on Spotify and all your podcast listening apps, but I'm pretty sure Facebook might be the only medium. We might do Instagram TV as well for this, for the visual
and
aspect.
One thing I just want to say quickly, I know we're supposed to be wrapping up, so this is going to be the last thing I'm going to say, is if you could leave us a review on the podcast, that would be awesome. Just give us like a star. Be honest with it, but give us a 5-star, please. Don't destroy our confidence. Yeah, nah.
One last thing also, if you want to send in a like a screen, like a backdrop for us, because we found that there is a setting that we can have a backdrop. So if you've got a cool picture of the amphitheater, or I don't know.
No dick pics. I cannot stress this enough. We do not want to look through dick pics.
Yeah, we can't. No dick pics. Anything that's cool that you think that you'd like to see our mugs on in front of, it's fun. Send it through.
Okay. Beautiful. It was lovely talking to you, Mitch, as always. I'm so glad we have video now, because now I can go like this and be like, yeah, we're done. And people can see what I'm doing. So, yeah. Very nice.
All right. Peace and love.